Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. So Dazzling X says, no it couldn't. The ledger can handle this transactions per second, not even close. XRP could capture 14% of Swift's global volume, Ripple CEO says. Some people believe that XRP and Ripple cannot handle the amount of transactions that Swift does on a daily basis. Smoke says, yes, Ripple can support the TPS required to match Swift's volume. Ripple will dominate the payment industry within a short period of time. So Swift can handle up to 1,000 transactions per second. Ripple network is capable of handling up to 1,500 transactions per second. That's without Interledger. Ripple's Interledger protocol closely resembles the Swift network. So even when they were building ILP, Interledger Protocol, they built it to replace Swift from day one. More closely resembles Swift in the sense that successful processing of a payment message results in contractual obligations to pay between nodes, intermediaries, but movement of funds to satisfy the obligations in a separate manner. An Interledger Protocol opens up the possibilities of 1 trillion transactions per second. Interledger protocol is going to be needed when it comes to micropayments, people getting paid in real time on a daily basis. But people cannot come to the terms that Ripple was already built. The XRP ledger was already built to replace Swift. You know, people are not going to get it until it actually happens. Ryan Rugg, still current head of digital assets at Citibank. When you look at this, right, you could see how Ripple was already on track to replace the entire financial system. So you have Pega Sultani at Ripple, Keani Bhatia, Swift, Ryan Rugg, Citibank. And this is Pega Solani talking about institutional adoption. Take a listen.
So ISO 20022 is a global standard for financial information exchange. This enables interoperability between different systems, straight through processing of payments, and rich data transfer. And it'll also foster competition because it's open and flexible. At Ripple, we've been aligned with ISO 20022 from day one. We've always recognized that this is the direction of payments and it'll be better for everyone. And we were really a first mover on that front. We've also joined the standard body to help contribute to how payments will shape in the future.
And people still don't realize that Ripple is eventually going to replace Swift. But they already have people from Swift sitting on the board at Ripple. They have people from, and these people could get a job anywhere in the world. They chose to come and work at Ripple. Why? Because they know Ripple is set on replacing the financial system. That's why you see Rosie Rios there. You see these people from Swift on the board. You see Ripple out there getting a seat at all the tables when it comes to cross-border payments. And people still don't want to believe it's eventually going to happen. Take a listen to Giancarlo talking about the end of the crypto casino phase. Take a listen.
And that is the recognition that actually Bitcoin may be ending its early immature phase, what some people call derisively as the casino phase. into a new phase of maturity and mainstream adoption. And the reason for that is, under Biden administration policies, traditional financial players have been kept out of the space. They've been warned to stay out of the space because of the debanking of traditional firms and because of the SEC's warning lawyers and others not to get involved in crypto. And we've seen that now through FOIA requests that have been forward that the FDIC actually warned banks to stay out. All of that is going to be taken away. Trump is going to allow traditional finance to move into the digital asset space. And I think we're going to now see the institutional development of this asset class. Major American financial houses, whether it be the New York Stock Exchange and its owner, ICE, NASDAQ, others, as well as major Wall Street firms, are going to move in a big way. And I think that's going to bring us a real maturization of digital assets. And I think the value proposition now is going to increase dramatically. And I think early investors are seeing that.
And the institutional phase is going to benefit cryptocurrencies like XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, and so on. You know, Bitcoin is going to become irrelevant over time. It's going to be an asset that runs on all these other networks. Flare is already looking to do that with F assets. They want to have FBTC, and they want to add some utility to Bitcoin. Charles Hoskinson wants to do the same thing with Bitcoin. I even think BlackRock is just looking to tokenize those Bitcoin ETFs. But that's the path that Bitcoin is now on. But nobody wants to talk about it. But as institutional adoption is happening, they're going to have no choice but to talk about these cryptocurrencies that have actual utility. Real-world assets are starting to hit the parabolic growth phase. This is nothing. This is a drop in the bucket compared to where tokenization is going. Tokenization is not really going to pick up a lot of momentum until regulations are in place first. And a lot of tokenization is not even happening in the United States. It's happening outside the United States because the U.S. still lacks regulations. Ripple is the plumbing. Monerex is the faucet. Take a listen to this.
Can you speak to how the XRP community has kind of shaped this project or maybe inspired it?
Well, everything we do is built on the ethos of the XRP ledger. No more walled gardens, level the playing field, all the money. So Ripple's building the plumbing. Ripple's already plugged into the SPAY network in Mexico, which is their national interbank digital network. So they have the plumbing, we're just trying to be the faucet, be something that retail users can benefit from the advantages of the XRP ledger.
Awesome.
So it's already built. He just said in Mexico, it's already built. And the plumbing is most likely built in so many different countries around the world because Ripple has been building that plumbing for years now. XRP is about to flow through those pipes. It's just a matter of time. Crypto Ari points out cross-border payments. She says, on a very conservative calculation, 11.15 million XRP at $2.15 is needed to facilitate $4.2 trillion annually. That is approximately 0.0190% of the circulating supply of 58.82 billion. And she's talking about cross-border payments. And again, it's all about if XRP could process $4.2 trillion yearly by handling 14% of SWIFT's volume. Now, this is going to bring value to XRP. I always said this is how Ripple would, if they capture 10% of SWIFT's volume, we would be looking at a 3-digit XRP. But the real value is going to come from this, in my opinion. Multiple companies planning to add XRP to their treasury. Big whales are quietly buying up millions because they know something big is coming. A supply shock is inevitable. Time is running out. Don't wait until the headlines say too late. The fact that we're seeing these companies already start XRP Treasuries, this solidifies the fact that liquidity pools are real. And these companies, they're going to utilize XRP on a daily basis for its actual utility and use case. And people still don't think there's going to be scarcity for XRP. Every single company is going to be doing this because these companies are now launching their own stablecoin. So they launched their stablecoin, but they still need a bridge. And how do you get a bridge? Through XRP. But how do you make sure that liquidity is there when your company needs it? You start a liquidity pool. Maybe it's in between a handful of companies. Maybe it's in between a handful of banks. It doesn't matter. These liquidity pools are going to be real. We're already seeing the early signs of it. This is going to lead to supply and demand. People could focus on market cap all day long. Supply and demand is really going to drive the price of XRP. Home sellers now outnumber buyers by almost 500,000, the largest gap ever recorded. Home prices are about to crash massively. Like I've been telling you, we are going to go into alt season. We're going to see an epic run for XRP. If you're planning to buy your first house, you will be buying the bottom, because I'm expecting this crash in the housing market to begin very soon. And it's going to coincide with alt season. So you might only have to sell a little bit of your XRP to buy a house very soon. But you will absolutely be buying the bottom. And you should do that with everything. If you're going to buy a car, wait until the car prices come down. Buy the bottom. Same thing, you treat everything in life the same way you treat crypto. You buy the bottom and you sell the top. BlackRock gets $500 million deal to rebuild Ukraine. Is that a shocker to any of you? Because this is not a shocker to me at all. BlackRock and JP Morgan have been involved in Ukraine for a long time now. And this, you knew it was going to happen. Ukraine is a testing ground for central bank digital currency, for cashless society. Everything that they want to implement in all these other countries like the United States and Europe and the UK, they're trying it out and they're testing it out in Ukraine. And you knew BlackRock was going to have a major role in this. It doesn't shock me at all. But you know, eventually BlackRock is going to have an XRP ETF. I was never a fan of BlackRock being involved with XRP at all, because BlackRock does not care about the retail investor. BlackRock cares about BlackRock, and I don't want to see them manipulating the price of XRP. You know, a lot of people still think that BlackRock is the one manipulating the price of Bitcoin, and we are still following Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin plummets down right now, it's taking the rest of the market with it. But eventually, XRP will decouple from Bitcoin. It's just a matter of time. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.